I'm really good. I don't know. I'm so good.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.
So, Joe Coy is on with us via Zoom. Hi, Joe. Good morning.
I know. I wish I was in there with you guys. It's so much better in person. This Zoom thing,
I know.
Annoys me.
It's infuriating. Of course, Zoom became our lives during COVID, but now it's like, oh, well, we don't have COVID, but we don't have to be with them in the same room. So fine. It's okay.
But Elvis, I miss it though. Creative thought always happens inside the room. It doesn't happen in Zoom. Like the chemistry and just like the energy, the vibe is always better inside the room. So I'm anti-Zoom. I wish I was there with you guys, honestly.
Well, I know you're going to be in town for the New York Comedy Festival at the Garden in November. So feel free if you're in the neighborhood to drop by.
Oh, I will.
Yeah.
I'll tell Katie to book it. I would love to come into your room.
Okay, here's another really effed up thing about doing Zoom interviews, but the audio. So if you have someone funny as hell like Joe Coy on your show and they say something funny, if you laugh, it mutes him out and we can't hear what he said.
Right.
So
I need a piece of tape then for my mouth.
It's going to be like going to a stand-up show and bombing and no one laughs at your stuff.
Right.
But we have to do it for technical reasons. So there's that. Anyway.
I know. And it's like performing for the people at the International Space Station. It's like it's the worst timing. Or when you talk, you have to hit mute for someone to respond. It's like, come on, this is dumb.
It is.
It's not gonna happen. Wait till I come in. I'm gonna crush when I come in, Elvis.
Uh-oh. Now you gotta pay it off. You gotta pay it off now. Let me give you another disclaimer. This is gonna be nothing but an interview of disclaimers. They say you should never meet your idols. They'll always let you down. They say you should never meet the people that really entertain you the most because they'll let you down. I'm afraid of that because we love your stand-up so much, your shows on Netflix. We just, Alex and I love to get together and just laugh our asses off. I'm afraid this is going to be a very disappointing interview.
No, not at all. You know what? I have a disclaimer. Never put bad energy at the beginning of an interview.
It's out of the way now. It's out of the way. When we told our friends that you're going to be on with us today, it was like, whoa, may I come in and meet him? I'm like, sorry, it's Zoom. I'm like, oh. Okay, enough of the bad energy. Let's kind of lighten it up. Okay, Joe Coy thoughts.
You're too likable, Elvis. You're too likable. There's no way you can have bad energy. Even when you're having bad energy, you're just likable. I don't know what it is about you, but I'm like gravitating towards your square in this Zoom meeting.
Your square.
I have some sort of magnetism in my square.
That's what it is.
It's like a really bad Brady Bunch episode. I just keep looking to my left because Elvis is over here.
I'm Agnes.
Gandhi's up here.
What up?
And this is Froggy.
There's Froggy. I'm Agnes the maid.
Danielle's like this. There's Danielle. When I'm looking like this, that's Danielle.
No. So I'm just going to say this, and I know he will have no memory of it, but I met Joe Coy once when I was an intern, and he was super nice, so we'll take all those vibes. They're going to be good. It's going to be great. However, speaking of bad vibes, after the pandemic and you hit the road again and you're doing comedy, have you noticed a shift in audiences where you say something and someone in the audience is like, nah, you can't say that, and they pour a bunch of rain on your parade? Because I feel like we see that all the time now.
I'm gonna say I've been kind of blessed because I feel like my fan base is just loyal. I think they're there to see what I have to say, and I haven't really felt that at all. Not really.
Oh, good.
And I also did notice this. I have noticed this though after the pandemic, people could not wait to get back in a room and laugh with other people. Because I'm telling you, last night I was in Rochester and that was a rock concert. Like it was insane. Like. I couldn't believe it. I stayed over. I think it went over an hour of my time just because it was crazy. And I'm not saying that just to say it. I'm being for real. Like, I feel like people have been pent up. They've been doing these Zooms for 2 years and now they're finally with people, no mask, living their life and just wanting to laugh. And that's what I felt last night. It was so good.
Joe, I'm thinking as a performer, if you're a musician or you're into comedy, whatever, how does it really just kind of shatter your heart into a million pieces when you can't get out on the road and do what you truly, truly love? I mean, and obviously talk about the joy the first time you walked out on a stage in a full room of your fans. Talk about both of those sides.
Okay, so the one there, it was a double-edged sword because I'm such a road dog, Elvis. I was on the road for 16 years, 17 years, and I missed a lot of birthdays, a lot of Christmases. It was selfish, but I had to do it because my son's on the road with me, and he sees why I did what I had to do because he's living a great life, and I did this for him, not only me, but for him. And so when that pandemic hit, those 2 years with my son was the greatest 2 years of my life because I spent 2 birthdays with him. I mean, every day I woke up with him, and then after the pandemic, he went on the road with me, and it's been so much fun. The first time I got back was Nashville. It's documented. I cried on stage. Wow. The minute they said Joe Coy, I cried. I was in tears. I mean, I'm about to cry right now because I'm like remembering just how overwhelming it was. You know, I remember getting on the plane and flying to Nashville for the show, and I was like excited. But when the lights came on and they said Joe Coy and the crowd started cheering, I started crying. I was like, oh God, it was something that was taken away from me, and I hated it.
I must assume those are the moments that really truly define, like, oh, it helps you define, like, who am I on this planet? Yeah. What am I doing? Okay, you do have a place at this table, and that's so cool. Yeah, Danielle, say hi to Joe Coy.
I want to know. So, like, when we talk to comedians all the time, how do you deal with a heckler? Everyone must get them every now and then. Like, some people, I guess, would ignore them. Some people maybe make them part of the show. What do you do?
I'm really good. I don't know. I'm so good.
That's it.
Yeah, it's that's the wrong place to be in that world. Don't come at me with the heckles. But I'm also blessed. Like I keep saying, I've been blessed. My fan base is so strong. Like they're not there to heckle. They're there to see me. Like they're, you know, the shows are usually sold out, you know, like months in advance. So I don't really have like the old school heckling, like when I used to have to like do the 2-for-1s to get, or the bringer rooms, or like the open mic nights where you had to battle people. Like, yeah, that was, but I don't really have to face that anymore. So I don't really have to deal with it. You know, there's one thing that I do that's a lot of fun when it's really, really bad. Turn all the house lights on.
Right.
It's the greatest move in the world. Hecklers are only tough in the dark.
You could really say something that's the same as social media. They're out there in the dark. They can say whatever they want. Turn those lights on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Nothing worse than an IG critic. It's like, no, man. Stop. Clean your room. Clean your room before your mom gets mad.
You know, Joe, when we sit down, you know, we always dim the lights and we turn on one of your specials, and it's not time spent with jokes. It's time spent with a master storyteller. I truly, no, it really is so obvious that if you can master the art of telling a story, as you so do, that's what sucks people in. It just so happens your stories are relatable and funny as hell. And of course, it's true. You talk about your son. You talk about sleep apnea and your mom. When you talk about your mother, it makes us think about our families and our stories and our bout with sleep apnea and the ghosts that bang our faces at night. We're trying to figure out a way to put that in on the radio.
That's a good way to do it.
And
it's so funny you said that, Elvis, because after that special dropped, I've been seeing like a million memes basically using that same premise, the whole ghost thing, and it's a compliment. But like my fans keep sending it to me. It's like, oh, okay. This definitely was inspired by Joe Coy's special. So,
good. You can own that. Yeah. I know, but you know what?
I love that. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elvis. This is your show, but I want to like elaborate on what you said because it's so important about what you said about my mom. Because when I started stand-up, the one thing I wanted to tell people was that I was Filipino without telling you I was Filipino. And the best way to do it is just do my best impersonation of my mom.
Right.
And I wanted to do it in a way where I wasn't going, Filipino moms do this. I wanted to tell a real story and act it out. And then at the end of the story, people will be like, yeah, my mom does the same thing. And you realize that it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, what race you are. It doesn't matter whatever you are. Moms are moms. And that's it.
But we learn so much about other cultures through comedy. For instance, Gandhi from a very, very Indian family. And you have
one of the greatest Indian names, mind you. Don't sleep on that, Elvis.
I know.
Well, I don't know. Who's going to like blurt it out? She gets mad when we say this, so I'm not going to say
I don't get mad. I feel like a lot of expectations then come after you
Okay,
say it.
lower expectations. She is the great-great-granddaughter of Mahatma Gandhi. Right here, right there. Okay, Joe just had
out of his chair.
Are you kidding me?
No.
We use that.
True.
We use that. We use that to pick people
Oh, wait,
up.
you're lying. You're lying right now.
No, I'm not. You can Google the family tree.
I'm sorry. Hey, look, Gandhi, I know this is annoying to see someone's reaction like this every single time, but deal with it, girl. Deal with it.
Amen.
That's incredible. Wow.
Don't find it annoying at all. I feel the same way. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I did nothing. I was just born.
But it really, look, I'm a little white Scottish guy. What do I know about, Filipinos or Indian? I'm learning through your storytelling about your parents. Yes. And here in New York, we have some of the best Italian-American comedians, who roll through town. And they're all relatable stories. There's more to it than being funny. I'm learning about a culture through you and your mom. I think it's great.
I love that, Elvis. And that's what I want people to understand. It's like, for some reason, when we turn the lights off, we're all relatable. The minute we turn them on, all of a sudden we separate ourselves. Like Hollywood has this thing about, we need an Indian character. Well, can you give me the accent? It's like, no, why? Gandhi doesn't have an accent right now. She's rocking it right now on this panel. And it's like, when I do the accent with my mom, it's because I'm going to do the best impersonation of my mom. But that doesn't mean that every Filipino character that comes on TV has to have an accent.
True.
Doesn't make any sense.
Oh my gosh. That is such an annoying, you're so right. That's such an annoying thing. They'll have kids in a Disney movie who were born and raised in the United States that have an Indian accent. And I'm like, that is not how that works.
That's not how that works. Yeah. What's crazy, Gandhi, is not only that we see that on TV, but we also kind of normalize it to where it's like, oh yeah, that's what we're supposed to see. But in real life, look at this room right now. It's like you have a Filipino, you have an Indian, we got a white guy, we got lots of white guys. And, and we're all just laughing. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with what ethnicity we are. It's just all tied together through laughter and talk. That's it. So why can't we portray that in Hollywood? And that's always been my big fight in Hollywood all these years.
And something that Danielle brought up earlier. We're saying, well, what are we going to talk to Joe about? In what we do, we play music too. We play the hits.
Yeah.
If you listen to our station for 2 hours, you're going to hear the same friggin' songs over and over and over. There's a reason why people love the hits. As a comedian, when you're in the middle of doing your brand new material that you're so proud of, and this one says, "Hey, do the thing about the sleep apnea."
Yeah.
What was your question?
Yeah. Do you do it? If people scream out at you, "Hey, do it!" Do you do it, or do you say,
That's a thing of the past. What is it? Do you like?
Oh, I won't do any old stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Once it's on Netflix, that's it. It's done.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. You'll never see that joke. I get sad too. I always get sad. It's almost it's like empty nest. It's like my son leaving the house. It's like the jokes are gone. And those jokes have been with me. Like the live from the LA Forum, man, that was 3 years worth of jokes that I was touring with. And, also the 2 years on pandemic. So it was it made me really sad when I shot that in March. And then when it dropped, I was like, okay, bye-bye. I was like that little girl on TikTok. Bye. That means you
just got to tell Netflix, sorry, no more specials.
Oh, yeah, right.
No. I already have like last night I did an hour and 45. I'm already on to the next one.
Right. I love that. I know, but see, I don't think you would ever have this problem because, well, you're Joe Coy, but there's got to be a comedian out there who stands up with new material and it just isn't clicking with the audience. Who goes, okay, I'm going to tell them the sleep apnea joke. This will wake their asses up. And then, an oldie but a goodie. It's like going to see
I couldn't do that. There's no way I could do it. The best part of the joke is the element of surprise.
Right.
You not knowing what I'm about to give you. And it's like, once you know that punchline, it's like I'm just doing spoken word at that point. It's like, what am I doing? It's like, I can't do that. I'd rather do crowd work for 2 hours than do an old joke that you've seen on Netflix. It's just not going to hit.
And no one does it like you. Let me fill in some blanks. Joe Coy, by the way, tonight, Resorts World Catskills. His bus just rolled into town. He hasn't even bathed. So he's got bus smell, which is good. November 4th in Miami, where we're on Y100 right now.
Yep. FTX Arena, where the Heat play. Let's go.
That's big. Yeah. And then, hey, Froggy, with you in Jacksonville, November 5th.
November 5th.
Oh, I'll see you there, Froggy.
Dude, I'm telling you, I cannot wait to go to the Joe Coy show. I cannot wait.
Let's go.
It's amazing. And then here, of course, at the Garden, it's a little bitty theater.
Yeah, just a little thing.
The Garden. Let me tell you, Elvis, it's going to be, I'm not even celebrating this as a show. This is an event for me. I've been waiting my whole career for this. Every time I went to New York, I used to tell myself, don't go into the Garden until you're playing the Garden. I was offered New York Knicks tickets. I'm like, I'm not going inside until I actually get to play it. Oh, I refused. I would not go. I was like, I'm not going to the Garden. Because I knew someday I was going to be a part of something inside the Garden, like either opening for somebody or something, but I was not going to go in the Garden until I was in the Garden. And then this fell on my lap where it's my show.
It's pretty amazing.
It's going to be an event, I'm telling you.
There's a lot of NFL players. They will not go to a Super Bowl until they play in a Super Bowl. It's kind of the same thing. You're like, no, for me to go there, I'm going to be a part of it. I'm not going to go and be a spectator.
The Garden, man. So every year we have a concert, and it sells Jingle Ball is what it's called. It sells out in 3 minutes, right? This is our
humble brag.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Did I just drop that on the floor?
Yeah, you did. Sure. Pick it right back up, Elvis.
But wait, how many years have we been at the Garden doing this?
27
years. This is our 27th year. And still, when you walk in there, it's so nipple hardening. Like, this is the friggin' Garden, man. Cool. Yeah. I get it. And to see you November 10th as a part of the New York Comedy Festival at the Garden, I can't wait to score free tickets from someone. Yeah. No, I'll actually buy it.
That would be me. Elvis. Play your cards right.
Here's the funny thing is, I would rather spend way too much money and buy my own tickets that are better than any ticket you can get me.
That's so funny. It's so funny that people don't understand what tickets mean. You know what I mean? It's like this is the only job where I have family members asking for tickets and not really understanding what that ticket means to me. Like I four-wall my rooms. Like I go in full in, and it's like it's a business. So it's like if I owned any other business, would you walk in and go, "Hey, can I get 700 T-shirts, please?"
Hey,
what?
I would love a free Cadillac if you don't mind.
Yeah, can I get a Cadillac, please?
Look, Joe, it's such an honor to have you here. And maybe I started off on the wrong foot with the negative energy, thinking and saying you should never meet your idols because they'll disappoint you, because you have done nothing but totally pay off. This has been such a great time with you. And I love nothing better than turning the lights down, hanging out with my boo, watching Joe Coy, and I can't wait to see you at the Garden. And you always have a place at this table. The energy's great. Downtown Manhattan, we're waiting for you. We'd love to see you again.
I swear I'm going to talk to Katie to get this. I want to come in for real.
Perfect.
It's awesome.
Let's knock it out. Let's turn off all the cameras and do it live.
You know what? You give us tickets to the show, we'll give you like a 60-second commercial spot.
Whoa.
Yours is
go.
Your ticket's worth more than that. I'll tell you that.
No, I'm done. I'll trade it in, Elvis. Let's go.
All right, you just keep on doing what you're doing. We love you, Joe Coy. Thanks for being on our show.
I got one more plug.
Oh, plug away, man. Plug away.
Steven Spielberg gave me a movie, and it was the first comedy ever dropped in 4 years in theaters, and he dropped it alongside Jurassic World. So I want to brag about that, humble brag. But most importantly, this is when it's my age group that's talking. He's dropping a Blu-ray for me. So,
wow!
Whoa.
He's dropping a Blu-ray with bloopers and uncut scenes and all this stuff. So I get to tell everybody that my Blu-ray is coming out Easter Sunday by Universal and DreamWorks. So next week, my Blu-ray is coming out. How cool is that?
It's very cool. But you haven't even told people it's called Easter Sunday.
Easter Sunday, yeah, it's streaming now, but it was in theaters this summer, and now it's streaming on all platforms. But I'm more excited about that Bluray. It's coming out.
If only VHS would drop.
I swear I'm going to make VHSs.
Just make
one. You know
one.
how cool that'd be to sign VHSs at the end of my show? and then sell VCRs at the same time?
That'd be awesome. I'll put it right there in the stack with my old VHS porn.
Yeah.
When Harry wet Sally.
Wow.
Oh my God.
That was my favorite. I Dream of Weenie.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's Easter Sunday right next to it. Joe,
I love it.
We can't wait to see you. And wherever you can give us Joe Coy, we'll be there for you. And thanks for being on our show today. It's much appreciated.
Love you guys.
Standing ovation, Joe. Yay!
Thank you.
Have a great day, Joe. Thank you.
The Mercedes-Benz Interview Lounge.